Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Ram, Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Krishna Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Oh, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Krishna Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Krishna Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna. Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna. Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna. Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram. Sit properly. Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna. Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna. Ram Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna. Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram. Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram Krishna Krishna Ram 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 Krishna Krishna Ram 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Ram 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 Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Ram Ram Hare Oh, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna Ram Ram Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna Ram Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Ram Ram Hare Krishna Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Ram Hare Krishna Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna Ram, Ram Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Ram, Ram Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Ram, Ram Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Ram, Ram Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Ram, Ram Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Ram, Ram Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Ram, Ram 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 Ram, Hare Krishna, Ram 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 Ram, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Ram 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 Ram, Hare Krishna, Ram 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 Ram, Hare Krishna, Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Ram 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 Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Ram 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 Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Ram 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 Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Ram 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 Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Ram 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 Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Ram 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 Ram, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna. Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna. Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram. Sit properly. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari Jashodanandana Braj Janaranjana Jashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namo Vishnupadaya नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Oh Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Oh Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Oh Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jai Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jai Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jai Prabhupada. Jai Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Jai Nitai Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. Om Ajnanatirmirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam yena bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivashadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So today we are going to have some discussion on the 14th verse of the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita as it is. Chapter 2, chapter entitled Contents of the Gita Summarized, text number 14. Do we all do the verses? Do we recite the verse? Okay. Matra Sparshas Tu Kaunteya Sitoshna Sukha Dukkha Daha Agamapayino Anityas Tangs Titikshasva Bharata Matra Sparshas Kaunteya Shitoshna Sukha Dukkha Agama Paino Nityas Tang stitikshasva bharata. Matra sparshastu kaunteya. Shitoshna sukha dukkhadaha. Agama payino nityas. Tang titikshasva bharata. Matra sparshastu kaunteya. Shitoshna sukha dukkhadaha. Agama payino nityas. Tang sutikshasva bharata. Anyone?
Sitoshna sukha dukkhada. Agama payino nityas. Tam titikshasva bharata.
Tam sutikshasva bharata. Anyone else?
Matra sparshastu kaunteya. Shitoshna sukha dukkhada. Agama payino nityas. Tam sitikshasva bharata.
Matra sparshastu kaunteya. Sparshastu kaunteya. Shitoshna sukha dukkhada. Shitoshna sukha dukkhada. Agama payino nityas. Payino nityas. Tam stitikshasva bharata.
Is it translation or word for word meaning? What do we do generally? Both. Matra sparshaha. Sensory perception. Tu only. Kaunteya. O son of Kunti. Shita. Winter. Ushna. Summer. Sukha. Happiness. Dukkha. And pain. Daha. Giving. Agama. Appearing. Apayinaha. Disappearing. Anityaha. Non-permanent. Tan. All of them. Titikshasva. Just try to tolerate. Bharata. O descendant of the Bharata dynasty. Translation: O son of Kunti, the non-permanent appearance of happiness and distress and their disappearance in due course are like the appearance and disappearance of winter and summer seasons. They arise from sense perception, a scion of Bharat, and one must learn to tolerate them without being disturbed. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada. In the proper discharge of duty, one has to learn to tolerate non-permanent appearances and disappearances of happiness and distress. So, Srila Prabhupada is giving the context, he is giving the principle. Now he is going to further elaborate on the principle. So according to Vedic injunction, one has to take his bath early in the morning, even during the month of Magh, January, February. Interesting, isn't it? Now, maybe many of us did not actually realize that this is a Vedic injunction. It is there in the Smriti Shastras. In the month of Magh, in the northern hemisphere in India, it's very cold. So Prabhupada mentions that. It is very cold at that time, but in spite of that, a man who abides by the religious principles does not hesitate to take his bath. Well, here there is no gender bias. It is man or woman. Both. Alright? Similarly, a woman does not hesitate to cook in the kitchen in the months of May and June, the hottest part of the summer season. Again, no gender bias. A woman here means also a man who cooks in the kitchen. Now, so there are no exhausts. Srila Prabhupada has given an example. I mean, after some time, maybe it will become a little, this example would be a little irrelevant. What with electric systems and non-combustible appliances, basically, exhausts. Who minds, what the temperature is outside? As long as it is 70 degrees Fahrenheit within the kitchen, it's okay. But please come to India. We still have a lot of opportunities for such experiences there. So one has to execute his duty in spite of climatic inconveniences. What can you do? You cannot shout out to the weather god like, "Are you crazy? Don't you understand? I have to cook now. Turn down the temperature, the heat." It's no use. We're just wasting our energy. Or turn up the heat in January. It wouldn't work. So one has to execute his or her duty in spite of climatic inconveniences. Similarly, to fight is the religious principle of the Kshatriyas. Only the Kshatriyas. One cannot be momentary Kshatriyas. One cannot be somehow or the other in a situation where one is fighting with each other and then one claims that I'm in a Kshatriya mood right now. Doesn't work like that. One cannot change one's varna according to time, place and circumstance. It's not recommended. Sometimes as devotees we kind of add words to our vocabulary. So like a child once had this fist fight with another child, devotees, devotee families. So I asked that child that, why did you get into the fist fight? He said, I got into a Kshatriya mood. To fight is the religious principle of the Kshatriyas. So does it mean that the Kshatriyas are always like with their swords out or with their guns out, like, come on, fight? Banasur was like that. Do you know, have you heard about Banasur? Big time. WWE or WWF fighter. Big time. 1,000 arms. And when he ran out of opponents, he decided to kind of let out his passion on the elements. So it crushed mountains, it stopped rivers from flowing. And even then, he wasn't really satisfied. So that is not a Kshatriya mood. Kshatriya comes from the root word Kshata, And then there is trayate, tra. A combination of this means kshatriya. Kshata means pain. Kshata means violence. Kshata means trouble. So one who protects a person in pain, in trouble, is a kshatriya. That is when a kshatriya fights. Not that you kind of, I'm kshatriya now, so let's pick up a fight. So what do the kshatriyas do if there is peace all around? What do? They sit down and chant Hare Krishna. That is what kshatriyas do. And when necessary, for the protection of others who are in danger, then they fight. So kshatriyas are not gang lords. Hence, to fight is the religious principle of the kshatriyas, and although one has to fight with some friend or relative, one should not deviate from his prescribed duty. So the context is very clear, isn't it? The context is that certain principles are being broken. It's like the civil war that took place in this country many centuries ago. There were friends and relatives in the north and in the south. But since war had been declared, sometimes family was fighting family. And if you did not, then you could be court-martialed. There would be severe repercussions. So although one has to fight with some friend or relative, one should not deviate from his prescribed duty. One has to follow the prescribed rules and regulations of the religious principles in order to rise up to the platform of knowledge. How does that work? One has to follow the prescribed rules and regulations of religious principles in order to rise up to the platform of knowledge. Any examples? How does that work? How does it happen? How do we understand that from a practical perspective? Yes, please.
Hare Krishna. I guess it could be explained as when you're basically on a schedule and you keep yourself just regulated in general, you're not worried and distracted about everything that's going on, so you can build on top of what it is that you've already accumulated.
Yeah. I think that's a good answer. Yes, you have something to add? Thank you. Sorry?
Okay. You always have to be good with the society.
Okay.
And you always have to be good with the people around you. And
okay.
Also you always have to shine yourself internally if you want to get the knowledge. It's really important. You have to be good with the people around you.
Okay, so you treat people around you well. And you do good for society.
Yes, that's
and
one of
internally you kind of shine. Shine means you have to work. You try to keep yourself enlightened?
Connected.
Connected?
Connected.
Okay, connected.
And that's one of the prerequisites if you want to get the knowledge in a rightful way.
So that is one of the ways, or you say that is the right way to get knowledge.
It's one of the prerequisites. That's one of the way.
One of the ways. Okay, it is one of the ways.
That's the main way, maybe.
To receive knowledge. Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Couple of more. Okay. Yes. Could you pass the mic behind?
Want to go first? So I think one of the ways, this statement, religious principles. So think of somebody who is a Kshatriya. It's his religious principle, and when he executes his duty, karma, even if that leads to a experience which is not the best of the experiences, the act of going through that experience makes him elevated than the ordinary.
So the act itself,
yes, the experience
also contributes. The experience, the act and the experience.
An example would be a policeman. If he finds his own family violating the law, by executing his duty, his consciousness, executing his duty impartially, meaning taking his own family to task,
right,
would be a very difficult decision to take. But the experience of doing that will elevate him from the ordinary. If he is just going to not execute his duty, then he is a cop or a Kshatriya in the name only.
Right,
but the act of doing it, the experience of going through that duty, elevates him higher than the ordinary.
So, everyone's a citizen, but a cop is a citizen with special powers, special duties. And hence, if that person performs his duties religiously,
it elevates him to the next level of knowledge.
Then everyone else can see that this person is on a higher platform.
Yes.
Okay. All right. One final.
Hare Krishna. I think it's can be following the 4 castes, like Brahmins, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra, whichever caste you are in, performing the duties according to that, and also following the ashram, urban ashram system.
Right.
Whichever ashram you are, perform the duties based on that ashram, keeping Krishna in the center.
Okay. So you feel that it is the varnashram system, and if slowly one rises from one platform to another platform in the varnashram system, that is what is one of the ways one rises to platform of knowledge. So from the 4th level one comes to, or the lowest level one comes to the next, then the next, then the next. That is varnashram system. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. I think all of the answers were very relevant. And yes, so one has to follow the prescribed rules and regulations of religious principles. I had one example which I wanted to share with all of you too. I kind of, hit upon that example right now. We have a certain program here for the children of different ages, isn't it? Like up to 3 years, what are they called? Kana, right? So if they do that religiously, then by the end of 3 years, they are supposed to rise up to a platform of knowledge. That's designed like that, right? And generally they do. Then after that, there is a Damodar, I guess. So you go through that religiously, then you rise up to the second, you come to the second level of understanding that has been designed. And then from the Damodar you go to Gopinath. Is that right? I got it correct. And from Gopinath you go to Madan Mohan. Then you take vows, then you kind of become a Kirtaniya, or you take initiation, and then you bloop. No, you don't. You don't bloop after that. You continue on, you progress. Isn't it? So at every level, you come to a certain platform where you are knowledgeable. You have a certain understanding. And everyone's participation has to be very religiously done. The child has to be there regularly. The teachers have to perform regularly. So, one has to follow the prescribed rules and regulations. So, every Sunday, you have to come at a particular appointed time. You leave your child there. Pick up your child after that. Similarly, even in the outside world, we see the entire education system is arranged accordingly. Whether it is at the elementary or the, what is there after the middle, or high school or college. Or whether it is the educational system that we have here, the bhakti Shastri, the Bhakti Vaibhava. So there are prescribed rules and regulations for that. You follow that, you rise up to the platform of knowledge. Yes? Now, why would one want to do that? Why doesn't just one go to a park and spend some quality time there? Or why doesn't one go to the mall and spend some time there? Or why doesn't one go to the bar and do that? Because Prabhupada is explaining further. He says, because by knowledge and devotion only can one liberate himself from the clutches of Maya or illusion. Yes? So only by knowledge, but there has to be devotion now. Simply knowledge does not help. Yes? I know this particular, like there was this wonderful person that I used to know back in India many years ago. Visit this gentleman at his place. We would have discussions on the Bhagavad Gita. However, this gentleman had a very peculiar habit. He would drink tea. Now, is that peculiar? That's not peculiar. That's not the habit I'm speaking of. The peculiarity of his habit that really stunned me was that he would offer tea to his deity of Krishna. And he would also put a tulasi leaf inside it. Now, for those of us who understand that tea is considered to be an intoxicant, at least according to what we follow, we believe in, it is shocking. There wouldn't be a time, when somebody would be offering wine to Krishna. And God forbid if that person puts in a tulsi leaf there. Can you imagine tulsi leaf being drunk? She's never going to be drunk with wine. She's too much drunk with Krishna. That's so incompatible. So there is no devotion. There is knowledge. Oh, I must offer to the deity and accept it. Otherwise, it is going to be sinful. And I don't want to go to the hellish planets. At the same time, I don't want to give up my tea. So one comes up with one's own process. Tam tam niyamam asthaya. Prakritya niyata swaya. They come up with their own norms. So therefore, Srila Prabhupada says, because by knowledge and devotion only one can liberate himself or herself from the clutches of Maya illusion. Then Srila Prabhupada is kind of explaining the etymology of certain words. And there's a connection. It kind of completely changes the mood now. From the other intense mood, now it is a little lighter mood. He says, the two different names of address given to Arjuna are also significant. To address him as Kaunteya signifies his great blood relationships from his mother's side, and to address him as Bharata signifies his greatness from his father's side. From both sides, he is supposed to have a great heritage. Now, is that burdensome? What do you think? There's so much expectation. Dad is PhD, mom is double PhD. Every time the child is asked, so, child, what are you going to do? Triple PhD? I mean, the child is so sick of that joke. Every time the child, any visitor like, beta, you are going to be a triple PhD, right? 1 PhD dad, 2 PhDs mom. As if the child can't add up numbers. That's human nature. we kind of feel that we are speaking something relevant, but it is such a burden that you're putting on these little tiny shoulders of the child. But you see, when you have a great heritage, not only is it expected that you perform, but you also have tremendous facilities. If the parents are so educated, and the child wants to be educated too, has that desire, the child doesn't have to go far. It's right there at home. There's so much facility available. Hence, Prabhupada says he is supposed to have a great heritage and he has to give a performance now. A great heritage brings responsibility in the matter of proper discharge of duties. The reason is because one has accepted the facilities. Arjuna grew up as a Pandava. He grew up as a Kuru prince. Everyone offered him the respect or the resources needed. And he used all of that. Now he has to do his duty. So proper discharge of duties. Therefore, he cannot avoid fighting. No, you cannot. Now you've taken your salary. You have to work. Arjuna has to work. As simple as that. Now let us come back to the verse itself. Can we scroll up? Is there somebody there? Right? Yeah, let us go there. The Sanskrit. Thank you. So matra sparshas kaunteya shitosh. Where is Krishna coming up with this kind of explanation or maybe even an idea? Why is he coming up with that? Because if you have the Bhagavad Gita with you, you could go back to the previous verse. It's always, see, it's a dialogue. Now Krishna wasn't telling Arjuna 2.14 now. All right? Let us discuss that. And tomorrow we shall do 2.15. That is what you and I do. We kind of read one verse and say, that's enough for today. Every day I just read one verse with meaning, translation and purport. I'm done for the day. So Arjuna had not enrolled into the Hare Krishna movement with Krishna being the president. And he was not attending every, like Sunday classes every week. This was a dialogue between him and Krishna. So Arjuna had just been told by Krishna, 2.13, Dehinosmin, yeah, everyone kind of, we've heard it so often, it's like pouring out of our ears. You know, when you eat too much, it kind of comes out of your ears like that. We've had too much of 2.13. Dehinosmin yatha dehe kaumaram yavanam jara. Why? It's so very interesting that Krishna begins with that. Maybe some of you did think about it. Well, it's good to be repetitive. What Krishna is saying that Bhishma has finished his Kaumar, his Yavanam, now his Jara. And so has Dronacharya. These are the two people that you're concerned about. They've lived their life, boy. Believe it or not, the next destination that they have on this journey of life is death. So just because you think you're going to run away doesn't mean that they're not going to die. So that was very gross, intense. Wow. You're just looking at them as people who are undergoing certain transitions in life. So Arjun is going to come up with an argument. I'm not worried about what they are going through. I'm concerned about what I am going through. I'm still young. I have still a few more years to live. And I will not be without, I will be living those years most probably without their affection. Because physically they won't be there anymore. So this is my issue. Don't tell me that it is their issue. Their problem. This is my problem. Therefore Krishna says, Matra Sparshastha Kaunteya. He knew that Arjuna was going to come up with this argument. You know, like when you're having a conversation, and if you're having this conversation with a person that you know well, then you kind of come up with follow-up statements to whatever you are putting forth. Because you know exactly where that person is going to go after you make a statement. You know exactly what that person is going to think. Krishna perfectly knew Arjun's pulse at that point of time. He didn't have to go through Bhakti Shastri to understand that. He knew it. And that is the beauty of the verses in the Bhagavad Gita. It's very relishable. It's like a movie. That's frame by frame, it's changing right in front of your very eyes, and all the emotions are there. But whenever there is any depiction of the Bhagavad Gita, the part that everyone kind of just skips is Krishna narrating this to Arjuna. It's like everyone is like, yeah, I know what's going to happen now. 18 chapters, 700 verses. In brief. But actually that is the real movie. Or it is a movie in itself. It's a drama in itself. Every word that they are exchanging with each other is replete with so much emotion. So matra, and everybody knows what's matra. What is matra? Senses? Just enough? Anyone else? I'm just going to speculate here. Are you from a Hindi background? Okay. Matra means just enough. Telugu people, you have so much Sanskrit. What does matra mean? Senses. Somebody said senses here. Who was that? Senses. You said senses. Minimum. Matra means the object of the senses. The experience of the object of the senses. The instruments. That is called as matra. So matra sparsha. Sparsha is the sense. So how does Srila Prabhupada translate matra sparsha? Sense perception. Experience born out of contact between the sense and the sense objects. Perception. Yes? So you perceive things. What are the things that you perceive? Shita, Ushna. What is Shita? Cold, winter. Ushna, heat, the summer. Correct? Right now, the temperature outside is a little cold, isn't it? And here, in the room, is hot. Are you happy? Are you feeling miserable with the heat? Obviously happy. Isn't it? Now, if it were really hot outside and hot inside too, would you be happy with the heat or miserable? Miserable. And the same applies for the cold too. The coldness. Therefore, with the first example, one cannot really be sure which gives pleasure and which gives pain. Although there is duality. There is heat, therefore there is going to be absence of cold. There is cold, there is going to be absence of heat. You are always going to want the other. What can be done? That is what is happening here now. January, February, it's cold. You want heat now. And April, May, June, here it's July, August, it's going to be hot outside. So you want it to be a little cooler inside. Correct? So when it's hot there, you want cold here. When it's cool here, cold there, you want heat here. But can we say heat is always painful? No. In the winter season, it is comfortable. In the summer season, it is miserable. So how do we define whether heat is going to give us pain or pleasure? We cannot. Therefore, Krishna has to give dukkha and sukha also as an example. Make sense? This question will not be asked in your Bhakti Shastri exam. This is just rasa. It is the taste of that which one can get from reading the Bhagavad Gita. Yes? So agama, have you heard the word agama before this? In another context, who has heard? Agam. Agam coming. Okay. Yes? Tomorrow is called Agamika. That's going to come in, yes. Anyone else? Shastras is also called as Agama. We are practicing the Panchratrika Vidhi according to our Agama Shastras. Have you heard that? There is the Vedic Vidhi and the Panchratrik Vidhi. Both have the Agama Shastras. Yes? That which has descended down. So now we understand what is Agama, which has come, and Apainaha. Apainaha means that which has left. It has gone. So it comes and it goes. Anitya. Oh, it's 7:20. Okay. So Srila Prabhupada, we saw what he has given in his purport, and we kind of also try to understand how relevant it is for us. Now Madhvacharya has a special perspective too in this context, and I think that would be very exciting for all of us to hear. What is the context that he speaks? He speaks of the context of agama, apaina, anitya. He says anitya, temporary. Why does Krishna say temporary? Anyone?
Because this heat and cold, the summer and winter is only for a short time.
It's only for a short time. Yes, so when we kind of sit down and have a discussion, we are completely clear. But in practical life, why is it not applicable? Why doesn't it permeate within?
Because when you're going through it, it feels like eternity.
When you're going through it, it feels like eternity. You kind of adapt yourself to it. Like, yeah, it's cold, it's hot, but that's what I am. He man, she woman, or whatever. We adapt. That is what we think. Material nature is one step ahead. She comes up with a polar vortex. Snowstorm in Seattle, like an entire generation has never seen such cold, things like that. How can we adapt? She is too powerful. So anityaha, Madhvacharya gives a very practical understanding to this. Srila Madhvacharya. You know, you've heard of Madhvacharya, right? That boy next door. No, Madhvacharya is one of our acharyas. He is the prominent acharya of our parampara. Yes, the Madhva Sampradaya, Madhvacharya. Yes, so he gives this understanding. He says, why is it anitya? He says, because these things don't touch and cannot affect the soul. So what's new? I mean, come on. Why did I kind of pump all of you up so much and then make a statement that's so commonplace? Because we know, but that's all. Right? We know, we have the information, the application part, oh, that's a separate team. They deploy, they apply, they work on the application. Maybe the SAP people, not we. The SAP. That's how it translates within our consciousness. Because as long as we are conscious of our existence, so long as we are conscious of our existence, we manifest our consciousness through the body, through the senses. We always do that. With dosa, we need sambar and some pickle. If there's no pickle, and then it has to be, we finish it off with yogurt. Why? The senses. Matra Sparshas to Kaunteya, we had a big lecture on it, and after that, what is there for prasad? There is idli, sambar and chutney, but no pickle. You feel lost. I know you kind of take out your car, people ask you, where are you going? I'll be back. You go to the nearest mall, the Indian store, that's like 5 minutes drive away, and come back with a bottle of pickle and like, yay, this pickle is the epitome of Krishna consciousness now. Now life is going to be relishable. So Madhvacharya says, as long as we are conscious of our existence. So when are we not conscious of our existence? At night. When you're in deep sleep, none of you are conscious, none of us are conscious of our existence. We have absolutely no idea who... Deep sleep, we are not having any dreams or anything. We have absolutely no idea who we are, male, female, whether we are what species. We are not even aware where we are sleeping, what we are sleeping on. We are completely in tamogun, darkness, ignorance. If we want to really know what it feels like after pralaya, when we are in the suptavastha, when we are in this state of complete unconsciousness within the womb of Lord Vishnu, it's happening every single day at night. Preferably, people sleep at night. I mean, someone would like, no, it doesn't happen with me. I don't sleep at night. But when you're in deep sleep, that is the experience. That is where you forget. That is where I put a dosa right beside you. I may smear your entire face with sambar, and if you're in deep sleep, there would not be any reaction. I may fill up the entire room with fragrant flowers. If you're in deep sleep, there's going to be no reaction. Therefore, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said two kinds of people are always completely, totally happy. One is a completely, totally enlightened person, and the other one is a complete fool, ignorant person. So we are neither fools nor enlightened. So deep sleep. Hence, all the experiences of the day, the good, the bad, the heat, the cold, and everything, is finished off at night. That is how temporary it is. All these relationships that we live for. Can I quote something in Hindi? तेरे लिए जी जाएंगे, तेरे लिए मर जाएंगे, तेरे लिए आसमान से ये तोड़ कर ले आएंगे. At night, and if they cannot communicate with us, forget it. तेरे लिए ये करेंगे, तेरे लिए वो करेंगे, कुछ नहीं करते हम. Because we are not even aware in that state of our own existence. That is deep ignorance. So Madhvacharya gives that example. Every single day we are kind of going through that experience. Why don't we realize that it is temporary? That is what Krishna is telling Arjuna. Arjuna, when you sleep at night, do you think you're going to remember Bhishma Dev? You're going to remember Dronacharya? You're going to even be concerned of whether they're alive or dead? No. That's how temporary these relationships are. But what can be done? The power of sense attachment, sensual attachment is so strong that as soon as we wake up, where's my favorite towel? Where's my favorite food? Where is my favorite person? Where's WhatsApp? As soon as we are awake, immediately we start functioning through the senses on the material platform. This is our challenge. So what should be done? Krishna says, don't worry. At night you may be falling off to sleep and you may be forgetting all that which you feel is important in life, including your practice of Krishna consciousness as a practicing devotee. You may forget that too. Don't be disturbed. Tam titikshasya bharata. Just be tolerant. Go on with the process. Do your duty religiously. You'll come to the platform of knowledge. And when you are really there, at a particular level, then you will be in Shushupti. A state of deep sleep, but complete knowledge. In Sushupti. Yeah? Just let me give you a practical example. The moment this lecture is going to be over, I'm going to get up from this seat, right? And I'm just going to look around. Did I leave my phone or anything here? Isn't it? I'll be completely detached from this chair. But right now I'm so attached to it. This chair has become part of me. Why? I'm dependent on this chair. And I'm done with whatever I'm doing. The lecture's over. I stand up. Complete detachment. Total detachment, because this chair does not belong to me. It belongs to a temple. You know how easy it is to not care for things at the temple? It's very easy. Now, if this chair had been at home, I would have seen to it that I polish it every single day. I keep it clean. I try to see that the chair doesn't get hurt by anyone. If there's a slight scratch, my heart breaks like, wow. There's a scratch on the word. I need to get it done. But the temple like, chalega. Everyone's property is no one's responsibility. Am I being too intense here? Consciousness has to change. As much as we feel for that which is ours, we should feel for that which belongs to everyone too. Just as I can easily accept this chair to be a part of me right now. This chair is a part of me. How did I do that? I accepted it. Now I'm going to take care of this chair. I'm going to see that it does not break, its legs remains good, so that otherwise I'm going to fall. That is why I take care of my body, because I don't want pain. My limbs. So this is one of the ways that one can realize one is a self. One is different from the body. One is not this body. Speaking of Madhvacharya's special perspective here, today is Magh Shukla Navami. What is that? It is the month of Magh, January, February, remember? Shukla, it is the waxing fortnight. Yes? The fortnight of the waxing moon. And Navami is the 9th day of the waxing moon. What's so special? Today is the day that Madhvacharya went to the Himalayas forever. He departed. So today is considered to be the disappearance day of Madhvacharya. Why don't we find any samadhi of Madhvacharya? Because he's eternally living in Badrikashram with Vedvyasji, waiting for his turn to become the next whatever, some very powerful person in the universe. But we celebrate it as his disappearance day because he left us. So who's Madhvacharya? Madhvacharya is the incarnation of one of the greatest devotees of Lord Narayan, Vayu. There is an understanding of the sequential incarnations of Vayudev. The first incarnation is supposed to be Hanumanji, expansion. The second is Bhimasen. Third is Madhvacharya. That is what we as the followers of Madhvacharya we believe. So as Vayudev is so powerful. Today I was at Hari Sankirtan Prabhu's house, and we were at the table having lunch, and the wind started really blowing very strongly. Very strong winds. And he was educating me in different kinds of winds. Like in Florida, there are the hurricanes. How powerful is the wind? Very powerful. Madhvacharya was similarly very powerful. Tremendous strength. At one point of time, somewhere during his journey here with us on this planet, he was going with his disciples touring North India. And in those days, there were no endangered species. There were all kinds of species existing. So one of his disciples was attacked by a tiger. And the tiger had this devotee in its grip. He called out to his guru, "Please protect me, please protect me." So Madhvacharya came up to the tiger and he kind of slapped him. Not the way Chaitanya Mahaprabhu slapped the tiger, like a really big slap. And the tiger, this was 600, 800 pound heavy tiger. The tiger kind of just was so stunned. The tiger didn't even realize that the tiger had let go of that devotee. was so stunned. And then the tiger looked at Madhvacharya and said, "Sorry, boss. I didn't realize I was making such a huge mistake," and the tiger ran away. Then Madhvacharya turned to his disciples and said, "All of you should become fit. From tomorrow onwards, gymming." They were all very fit. Why they were supposed to be very intelligent too? Like Hanumanji is very intelligent. And he came in front of Ravan. "Who are you?" said Ravan. "Dasosmi Kaushalendras. I am the servant of Lord Ram." Tactical move. It is for a king to punish a servant, anyone's servant, is below the king's dignity. Somebody says, "I'm this and this person's servant." We say, "Go, get your master here." So from the practical point of view, Vyavaharik Buddhi, very tactical move. Super intelligent. But he was expressing his devotion. See, when a person is devotional, their intelligence is very sharp. It just kind of manifests like that. When Srila Prabhupada he was invited to Africa by his devotees, and somehow or the other they had got a center, and Prabhupada had come there, they had established a center. There were actually a few devotees, local devotees staying at the temple. The local, Africans, not the Afro-Americans, but the Africans. They were there. Srila Prabhupada spoke about Krishna and he said, Krishna is very beautiful. Krishna has a very darkish complexion. He's got a blackish complexion. So after the discourse, after his lecture, one of the persons in the crowd who was like really so happy, already people in Africa have a really dark skin, dark toned their skin, right? So when you're happy, it kind of shines forth. I've noticed that when people who have a very dark tone, when they are happy, you actually can, it's as if they are very luminescent. So he was really very happy. He said, Prabhupada, did you say Krishna is black? I mean, they had been suffering so much from racism. They were so excited to hear that Krishna is black. God is black. Prabhupada, sharp as he is, it just comes naturally to him. He said, yes, Krishna is black, but not like you. Now, don't think that he is like that color. That is why he is called as Nirakar. He does not have the same form as we have. Like President Trump seems to have the same form like we have, but now, with his two hands, when he tweets something, and when we use the fingers, when we tweet, there's a huge difference between his tweet and our tweets. So looks like us, even his tweets are very powerful. So that's the president of this country. So when we are speaking of Krishna, imagine if Krishna was to start tweeting. Krishna would be on Twitter. Which is kind of similar, because within our heart he's tweeting, surrender please. Once, and is kind of trying to encourage us, at least once in your life, surrender unto me. I'll take care of you, don't worry. Trust me. And we're like, shut up. I'm too busy. tweeting to someone else. We are so busy that sometimes we are not even able to hear the voice of Krishna. And what are we doing? We are tweeting to somebody else. One should listen to Krishna within the heart. We are tweeting that. And we're waiting for somebody else to send us back our tweet. And that's how we are just tweeting to one another. Occasionally we may want to just give it up. Occasionally, and listen to Krishna within the heart. And if you're not able to listen to Krishna within the heart, something is seriously wrong. We need to change. We need to be able to hear Krishna within our heart. It cannot always be, oh, Krishna is speaking through another devotee. Krishna speaks through everyone else, even through the walls, but not within our heart. And we have justification for that. Oh, we are too sinful. So why remain sinful? Why not become progressive? So Madhvacharya similarly, very sharp, very witty, very intelligent, just as Hanumanji. Very knowledgeable too. In fact, when he was just 12 years old, two super intelligent scholars had come to his town for a debate. One was called Buddhi Sagar. Buddhi Sagar literally means an ocean of knowledge or intelligence. And the other was Vadi Simha, the lion amongst debaters. Powerful people. Madhvacharya was 12 years old. Madhvacharya said, at that point of time he was not called Madhvacharya. Madhvacharya was the name that he had accepted when it was offered by the people, by his disciples out of love. His name then was Ananda Tirtha. He'd come to his guru when he was 7 or 8 years old and he said, I want initiation. His guru said, no, you have to go and first of all please your parents. So he goes to his parents. His parents said, we won't be happy. He said, what will make you happy? Well, who's going to take care of us? We just have one son. He said, all right, I'll wait till you have another son. 9 months from that day, he was back at Achyut Pragna's ashram. My parents are happy because they had just had another son. Took initiation, got the name Ananda Tirtha because he was so knowledgeable. When he was just 4 years old, he went to a public discourse. And the person there was speaking on grammar. He was pointing out certain nuances of grammar. And this 4-year-old boy shouted out, "You're wrong. You're incorrect." The scholar, the presenter, he kind of looked around and he said, "Oh, just a child." You know how children are sometimes? They kind of just speak out, but they really don't have enough substance. A child can say, "He is not wearing a nice dress," and everyone starts laughing, and the parents are like, they go red. That happens. And occasionally when you're reading, your glasses kind of come down and the child goes, "Just look at him, he's looking so funny." Children are like that. So this was a similar attempt. That was what this presenter thought, the speaker thought, that this was just a childish attempt at getting attention. So he kind of ignored that and he went on. And Madhvacharya again, the little boy, whose name was Vasudev then, His parents had named him Vasudev. Please don't get confused. If you have had just 2 or 3 names in India, Madhvacharya has more than that. I mean, he has so many names and nicknames. Vasudev! This little child said, he's wrong, he's wrong, he's wrong, he's wrong, he's wrong, he's incorrect. Because the person was trying to deride the position of Lord Narayan. So this person, he was so irritated, he said, does he know any better? He said, I know better. So tell us. And he spoke so lucidly that the presenter was shocked. It was very difficult for the presenter to accept defeat. He just snuck away, just vanished into the darkness, never to be seen again. Everyone was like, oh, Madhyageya Bhatt, father's name. You are so very fortunate. Your son knows so much. And where was Madhvacharya? He was gone. The moment he found some time, he would go out and play. What would he play? Video games. No. He'd be out jumping amongst the trees, climbing up hills, jumping across streams, helping out his friends. And then his mother would call out to him and he would be like a kilometer away. And his mother would say, Vasudev, please help me. And there would be a load on her head or something and it was kind of crushing her. And Vasudev would jump like Hanuman. He would jump. Just as when Sita was in trouble, Hanumanji jumped. His mother was in trouble, Madhvacharya jumped. And he made quite a few jumps like that because he was always playing. So Vasudev becomes Ananda Tirtha. Ananda Tirtha debates with these scholars. The scholars are thoroughly defeated. They are amazed at the ability of this 12-year-old boy and his guru, the leader of the ashram, Achitta Preksha or Achitta Pragnya, is super elated. He says, you are so knowledgeable. Your name shall be Purna Pragnya. Complete intelligence, the most intelligent person. Madhvacharya said, or Anandatirtha said, then please give me sannyas. That is what most intelligent people do. So he said, yes, take sannyas. So at the age of 12, he took sannyas. Then he traveled to the north. He sat down and wrote his commentary on the Bhagavad Gita and he said, I have to show this to Vyasadeva. And he had certain disciples and followers. They're like, whom? Vyasadeva. They're like, really? We all know where Vyasadeva. Where does Vyasadeva live? Yeah, let's go and visit him. See the sheer disbelief that we have? That is how they were in that situation. His disciples, he's like, where? Badri. They're like, okay, let us go. I mean, this is the teacher. So they all traveled to Badrika Ashram. And one point of time he said, you won't be able to travel any further. They said, no, we can do it. He said, no. We still, this is early Kali Yuga. We do not have oxygen tanks and cylinders and masks. Once you are on the journey there, you wouldn't hear a voice. Cabin pressure has come down. The masks are falling. Please put on the masks on your face. Nothing like that. So some of them stayed back. One of them, Satyatirtha, he said, no, he was his guru's man. Like his very life was his guru. So he said, I'm coming with you. At one point of time, he was, and Madhvacharya wouldn't wait for him. So Madhvacharya took compassion on him and just waved his shawl towards Satyatirtha. Go back. Satyatirtha got on an interim flight right there and then. Madhvacharya put him on a flight which landed right at the place where all the disciples were there. Safe landing. Just imagine if we had that kind of power, just a shawl. You know, you wave it at your husband or your wife or your children and they fly all the way to India. Land there. It would be fun, isn't it? All we need to do is just practice sincerely Krishna consciousness. We can have a shawl like that too. How much money we would save? Just imagine that. And you know how money is sweeter than honey? He vanished for an entire week. Actually, it was just 3 days. He went and visited Vyasadeva. And he gave him his book. Vyasadeva went through it and he said, this is very nice, but you should go back and you should write a commentary on the Brahma Sutras. Madhvacharya said, but you've already given a commentary. Vyasadeva said, I did? He said, yes, the Srimad Bhagavatam. You know, later on Srila Prabhupada is going to come and explain that to everybody else. That the Srimad Bhagavatam is a natural commentary on the Brahma Sutras. Vyasadeva says, I want you to do it. So Madhvacharya said, does that mean I'm initiated? Vyasadeva said, yes, you are. So now he is initiated by Vyasadeva himself. Receives instruction from him. Comes down. All his disciples ask, Guru Maharaj, how did it go? Guru Maharaj, how did it go? Guru Maharaj said, we have a task. You see, when Madhvacharya he would never write down his commentary. He would just dictate it. And the way he would dictate it is he would have 4 people around him. And he would dictate the commentary to 4 verses at a single time. It's like beatboxing, you know. You know beatbox? People do beatboxing. They kind of mix up so many sounds at the same time. So this is original beatboxing by Madhvacharya. 4 verses to 4 people, a commentary on that, very lucid, very applicable, to the point, at the same time. And what is more important is, he empowered his disciples not to be confused about what they were writing amongst themselves. Can you imagine, you are sitting there and I speak on 3 verses, but you are supposed to only be concentrating on one of them? How distracting that could be? So his disciples were empowered to only focus on one verse that he wanted them to focus on, but he would do it with 4 people at the same time. Wow, that's called multitasking. Really. Superhuman. One day he was challenged to something really very exciting. He was at a function and somebody challenged him. We hear that you are very powerful, you have a lot of strength. He said, yes, that is what people tell me. Well, we challenge you to this task. If you perform it, we'll accept that you are very strong, very powerful. What is it? You know, what is that called? An entire branch of bananas. What is it called? A bunch of bananas? You know, an entire thing that has got about 300, 400 or sometimes 600 bananas sticking to it. Have you ever seen that? What is it called as? A bunch of bananas, right? Sorry?
It's called a hand.
Okay. A hand.
A bunch of bananas is called a hand, while a single banana is referred to as a finger.
Wow. That's Google for you. Thank you. So everyone got that? A hand. That's how do you even kind of reconcile that? A hand of bananas. So there was this thing, you know, this entire stack of bananas, like 400 of them. Now, have you ever tried eating bananas, a lot of bananas, like maybe 6 or 7 of them, one after the other? Do you know what happens? Your digestive system goes cold. You immediately feel as if your sinuses are all filling up. You're shaking your heads, but you've never had that experience. I've had that experience. Try it out. And if it is any different, curse me. It's true. This gentleman, our Acharya, he put down 400 bananas in his stomach. And after that, he did not sit down like, oh my God, give me your digestive, please. Let me have hot chai, hot tea, something hot to drink. At least give me black pepper, pickle. None of that. He was hale and hearty. That is Bhima. That is how the essence of Bhima was within Madhvacharya too. And when he was touring North India, he brought his disciples to Kurukshetra. And then he started digging. So his disciples said, Guru Maharaj, we don't have to dig here for roots, nuts, you know. You've never done that, right? You've never kind of lived in the wild. Have you lived in the wild? You haven't. Well, if you live in the wild, you know what I'm speaking about. You know exactly where to find roots that are bulbous, that have a lot of moisture in them, and they're tasty too. You know that. And you have to dig. You know, like dogs dig, or a cat digs up the earth, you have to dig it up. Like, you cannot pull it out. You pull it out, the upper part would kind of just remain in your hands, and the bulb would still stay within the ground. So you have to dig. So they said, Guru Maharaj, we have sufficient to eat. He said, no, you dig here. So they dug it up, and there they found a huge mound. And he said, crack it open. So they cracked it open, and there was a mace in there. He said, do you know whose mace this is? This is my mace when I was Bhimasen. This is Bhima's mace. His Gada. So they said, wow, can we take it back to Udupi? He said, no. We cannot do that without Bhima's permission. We leave it right here. So they put it right down, right there, and they covered it up again. And since then, we've never ever been able to find it out. Why were we so lazy, about 750 years ago? If we had been a little Krishna conscious, maybe we would have been one of his disciples, and maybe we would have seen that mace. But look at our laziness. Today we are sitting here and we are still wondering, is that true? Really? Did he ever find the mace, or is it just a story? That is all we can do. With our intelligence and little strength that we have, all we can do is doubt. But no, he did that. And then he found the deity of the Lord. Devaki in Dwarka was always after Krishna. Krishna, I never got to see your childhood pastimes. Krishna, I never got to see your childhood pastimes. Krishna, I never got to see your childhood pastimes. Krishna one day said, what is it, Mom? What do you want? Please, can you show me those childhood pastimes? Krishna said, go ask Mother Yashoda. She'll send you the videos, the cassettes. Ask her, download it. He couldn't say that. He said, all right, for you, I will become a child again. So Krishna became a child. And some of us think that Dwarka is not Vrindavan. Krishna became a child right there. And Mother Devaki started churning butter for him. And Krishna ran up to her, he took that pot, broke it. And Mother Yashoda felt such happiness. And then Krishna started running around, and Mother Devaki was running after him, and Krishna would run here, he would run there, and this went on for some time. And then Krishna said, Are you satisfied, mother? Devaki was like, thank you so very much. And Krishna, he returned back to his youthful form as a king of Prince of Dwarka. Well, unknown to Mother Devaki, all this was being observed by Rukmini Devi. And she had fallen in love with Krishna once again. You know, sometimes people speak like that. Let us fall in love again. It never happens actually. But it's a good try. And how can you fall in love again? That was like when you were 20 years younger. Now you're 20 years, like you have blood pressure, you have high cholesterol. It's not going to be the same experience, but it's a good try. But she fell in love with Krishna again. And she said, later on she told the Lord. Rukmini Devi is very submissive. She said, all I want is, can you give me a deity form of that? Can you give me a deity of that form that I just visualized, that I saw? So Krishna said, yes, here it is. And he gave her a form, his very own form. In one hand was the stick with which he had broken Devaki's pot, and the other hand he had the rope that she was using to churn the butter. He had pulled it out of his hand. That is the form that Rukmini had. Krishna with his churning rod and Krishna with that rope. Little Krishna. And then Krishna wrapped up his pastimes. Arjun came to Dwarka. Is it Aarti time? Should we stop? Can we? These pastimes are eternal, you know, we can stop anytime and that would be also perfect. So let's stop here. At least we kind of said that the deity was manifested. That is the very deity that Madhvacharya got. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. And if there are any questions or comments, I'm sorry we don't have time, but you could ask me personally. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai.